This is Stephen Olivo, the host of the BXB podcast. Today, I got a special guest, a good friend of mine that she does great things for not just in entrepreneurship, but for the youth. And, she wanted to jump on with us today so she can tell everybody all the great things she's doing. Her name is Kimberly Wells. Please, everybody, welcome her and, listen to this great story she got to tell you because she's changing lives, and who knows, she might be able to change your life as well. her you can book a consultation with her for a consulting company, or even just to get some advice. Right below is going to be a QR code where you can go ahead and just scan, give her a call, and let's get everything together, because it's all about bringing people together, especially entrepreneurs. Kimberly, please go ahead and tell everybody your story, tell everybody how great you are and all the great things you're doing and what we have in store, right? Because
Okay.
children of the future, you bringing these kids and showing them the way is everything. But these are all things that you can only do because of the things you built already, right? And please tell everybody your story, introduce yourself.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be your guest. You're a very special person in my life. And so I want to thank you because um, your mentorship has helped bring out the best of me that I kind of forgot was there. And it kind of leads to my point of connection because everything with me is about connections and kinetics and energy, so to speak, and about self manufacturing and not underestimating the value of human capital.
Yeah.
That was probably the most profound thing that I learned about money last year. When I really thought about it, I saw a sign or a phrase somewhere that said, "Invest in the children. They're tomorrow. They're the future of tomorrow." And I thought about us being the kids of yesterday. It was just yesterday when we didn't have all these thousands of
I know.
responsibilities. Um, and I'm saying this to say I became who I am and I do what I do from I've been me since the time I was a kid, but I've also been a mom since I've been a kid. So my perspective on life and moving with intentionality is extremely different. And as it's given me the ability to hone in and see just how special it is and the time that children need that extra interaction, that extra love, that extra care to be nurtured into like full, well developed adults. And so I've curated a program that from scaling my business down, initially I did an international business strategy where I will go and help foreign businesses to reestablish uh, legitimate businesses here, going through the legal process in America, as well as going and growing their company in their countries. So after COVID and after seeing all that, I decided that the business cannot be better than the people, that I need to scale down in order to scale back up again. Right. And so I had to make my mission bigger than myself. The first time I went about this, my goal was to retire by the time I was 35. It's just like special manifestation. And I had hit my goals at 33. So by the time I was maybe 36, 37, I couldn't really I didn't have anything else I was striving for because I didn't plan beyond that. So now I teach people how to plan out the future that they want bigger than they can imagine so that once you hit your goals, you have mile markers to keep going. But then it also sets up legacy planning for them. Now, whenever people sign up for the class. That's what I have to offer on my site right now, as well as my online community. 20% of all the proceeds allows me to also teach this class to underprivileged youth in Houston. And so, and I'm looking at working at some programs in Pennsylvania, I believe, where I may be either flying out or doing it remotely. But
You know,
if
you got
we
to come
pour the
visit.
same amount of exactly, and I'm
Yeah.
so looking forward to it because it's like I get to heal adults and children at the same time, or show families, essentially how to heal together. And so
Yeah.
I'm
Look,
excited about this particular project.
that's awesome. That's awesome because you want to know something. I see people every day, like, and it blows my mind, but it doesn't at the same time, right? Because you have some people that they walk their what they were taught, right? This is what I was taught. This is what's right, and they go through a cycle. But when they're taught a certain way, some of them don't succeed because they just know that, right? Until you go now and say, you know what, I want to teach you how to be better, and I'm going to start from your kids. But who knows, because you're teaching somebody's children how to be successful, maybe that mom or that dad says, wait a minute, she's smart, right? I can learn something from her too, right? And now this is where you come
Yeah.
in now, mentoring them with their businesses or their future or their financials or just building themselves in general. And I find
Yeah.
that a
That or
blessing.
the
I
parents
I
can
always
join
try to
the
do that.
Yeah, the parents can join like the online community where I instead of making I don't like workshops. I don't like sitting at a table. I may be a little ADHD. And so I like being interactive. And I know from my sales career that the more you do something, the more a person takes it from a neuro perspective,
Yeah.
right? So if you hit all five senses, they're going to remember the information a lot more because they're not just being talked to and they're not just reading it and they're not just writing it. And so I do this thing called social learning environments where I set up fun dinner, creative dinner nights, which could also be worked into like a mystery date for couples. And so I put you in the room with other people that are having the same issues as you. So you're not alone. You're not the only one going through it, and other people have been through it. So they can give you the roadmap, kind of like you do with me. If I call you and I'm like, hey, I'm hitting a fork in the road, it's one thing if I just got Steve, but what if I have Steve and all his friends that he learns from too? You get what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And so I like setting up social networking settings because I feel like the connections that were lost after COVID, they already weren't great before. But the more electronic we become, the more disconnected we become from each other.
Yeah, that's true. And being in face to face, having a drink together or having some lunch together while you having a conversation, it does make it, a lot more of a connection. And you're right. It's a million of me would be awesome. But, I wish I had a million people that, I could get mentored by and things like that, which they're out there, but it's just, sometimes it's hard to connect with people because, they made it. They're this, they're that, and they don't like to
Yeah.
talk to nobody without you getting charged, right? Which I'm fine with,
Yeah.
paying somebody sometime to go ahead and get some knowledge, but I believe in we got to help. And that's why you are not doing this, all for profit. It's a non-profit that, eventually down the line, it's going to be for profit, once you get deeper and deeper into it. But for the children, it's all nonprofit. You do it for free off of proceeds that you're getting from other services, right?
Yeah, well, I'm not a non for profit. I'm
Oh,
actually a
okay.
for profit.
All
And
right.
I'm showing it's the opposite way around. So my objective is to show nonprofits how to create capital from services, number one. Now,
Got
for
it.
the people that are in my community. So that's one of the bonuses of being in the community. I get to show you how I do it, because I'm not a heavy poster on social media, but
Okay.
I will collect content and explain things to people. So the benefit of being in an online community is I'm like, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm doing it. Right. So I am a for-profit business that's choosing with full awareness to give back to the community. I see a problem, and instead of waiting for someone to say, I have this idea, people should just give me money to solve it. I'm saying I'm a for-profit business, and when you do businesses with me, I voluntarily give back to the community because it's important to me. I believe that they're the future, and I'm hoping that more for-profit businesses will actually come and pick up, or barter even to
Yeah.
get the kids what they need. Because at the end of the day, it's really about like see a need, feel a need. But I'm a for-profit.
Got it. Got it. All right, my bad. Nah, that's
It's
awesome,
okay.
bro. That's awesome. Honestly, like you said, I just love what you're doing.
I just
So
don't want the misconception out
no, no,
because some people will
100%,
feel this
100%, 100%.
like,
Do me a favor.
no,
Do me a favor. Tell, people your different businesses that you have and what do each
okay,
one of these business do for the community, right? What are they doing to help people? What are
okay.
they doing, to put out there? Because I know you have your loan company. We know you have your consulting company. You have a few other things going on. Let people know, because at the end of the day, if one thing doesn't work, that they can help contact you about. Maybe they have these other things, right? That it'll help them. And then who knows, once you're helping them with that, now they like, wait a minute. Maybe that first thing is something that can help me. I just didn't realize it yet, right? So go ahead, tell people
Yeah.
about all the
Yeah.
things you're doing.
Okay. So there's 3 logos that show for me: Coach K Consults, The Ultimate Butterfly Effect, and Co-Red Management. So the breakdown is Coach K Consults, that's me. And so for me, I can do speaking engagements, I can do individual classes anywhere almost anywhere in the world, with negotiations. But that's just doing business with me, getting me to do anything. Then the breakdown of me
Because you're a hustler.
becomes
You're
the
always
ultimate.
working. You're like me.
I mean, I like helping. I'm always helping. That sounds even better
Yeah,
for a
that's
fee.
true. That's true.
But
You're
I believe
you
in
wanna,
seeing utility.
yeah. You gotta do it. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
Yeah, y'all know you're fine. So one side of the breakdown is the ultimate butterfly effect, which I consider a lifestyle. It's the derivative of co-red management, because co-red management originally just managed other businesses that were foreign entities in America and outside. So that's the business side. The personal side is where we're doing the online community, the visionary classes, and then there's like levels to it. So it's kind of hard to explain. I hope you like stay with me. So once you get into the community, you're able to book individual date nights from a consultation perspective. So when you think of the ultimate butterfly effect, just think more coaching in terms of, but it's hands-on coaching. So it's classes, there's online community, there's date night invitations, there's dinner party invitations, and there are events created for people in the community. But for those people that are in the community that also own businesses or maybe general managers of corporations, then I go to Co-Red Management, which is a management company. Now, under that umbrella, we do corporate trainings, we do business infrastructure, and go have people go in and like see, really find out what's wrong with your business and come up with a plan of how to fix it. And then we have loan services for businesses that also need more assets, but have assets to possibly leverage, or the capital, but not enough capital to get everything they need to have a full working machine. And so we offer a full suite of businesses, from that to automation, for the co-red management side. That's all corporate and company related.
Got it. Awesome.
Is that a good? Can you understand the breakdown the way I said it?
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. But as long
Because
as
I
we
like to
get it.
take people at levels. Because if you start off at level 7, I can't
Yeah.
bring somebody in at level 7 when I know there's levels to this.
Yeah,
And I
100%.
need to get to know, like, I love when people start on the personal side and allow me to get to know them, and then we transcend to business. Because if I know who you are as a person and we've agreed on that we have, that I see your vision, then you trust me more in the business side, and it makes a very well working relationship.
Got it. Got it. So basically, what you're changing in business and for people is making it better for them, creating a better way
Yeah.
and creating a web of knowledge that, they're going to be able to inherit by basically you helping them, right? And because you're going to
Yeah,
introduce
lifestyle.
them to people, you're going to be able to, put them in places where they wouldn't have been before because of that butterfly effect, basically.
Yeah, that's what the ultimate butterfly effect lifestyle is really all about. Like, when people come out to the dinners, either I cook or I have a chef come out, but I allow them to be a part of the process to see what this chef is making, how he's making it, because I still create the recipes. And so there's
Yeah.
a lot of people that don't cook, thinking cooking is hard. When
Mhm.
I can create delicious, healthy recipes from whatever I just have around, but people just need to be shown that. So I'm looking to enhance total lifestyle, not just telling you what to do,
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
not just saying you're a nutritionist.
Do
It's
you
like,
have
come here, let me show you.
is there any
Huh?
type of competition out there like that, or like,
Not that I know of. And
no,
then
right?
even
Because
if
that's
there
not something
was,
I've heard
I'm
of.
the only me.
Ah,
I, I
yeah.
came up with this idea about 10 years ago. I used to do co-gender, take time for you executive spa parties,
Hmm.
where businessmen and women would come out in St. Louis And I would make people take time out for themselves. I would block off areas this is like a sales event, but you're getting massages, you're getting champagne, tequila, if you need your makeup done. I
Nice.
want you to feel good because you're going to remember me as good as I made you feel. If I miss a sense, I'll hit the other four. I almost sent you a picture of me with a bow and arrow when you said, send me a picture of you for this.
You sent me the
Like,
four-wheeler. I said, what is this? Well,
because I want people to overcome their fears. I had
yeah.
a fear of heights at one point, and now these practices have led me to like that picture. I fell off that four-wheeler on the top of a mountain right after that picture.
Get out of here. That's crazy. Now let me ask you this. What like what do you envision for this going forward? Like the bigger picture.
So the grand picture is, think of Walt Disney. Think of
Okay.
meeting Walt Disney before he was Walt Disney.
All right.
Because my grand picture is to get into commercial development, to foster such a lifestyle of community where people I'm constantly able to pour back to the place that I create, like blue zones internationally. So the
Mhm.
people that are in my community, when they need breaks and they need vacations, like I want them to say, I'm a part of this community. I can go to Indonesia next month because I just need to get away because of the difference, the financial difference to take care of someone in Indonesia, it allows me to take care of my people that just need to get away for a reset.
Yeah.
And I want it to be in places where I'm not saying Indonesia is a blue zone, but
No,
I
no, I
want it
get
to
it.
be in places where, you know, people can
Yeah.
travel more, experience other cultures, have locals interacting in this, and just create unity and like show people how to self manufacture self love on an international level. You don't have to speak the same verbal language. I
Yeah.
want people to be better
Just better
people.
people. Better people.
Yeah, I'm trying to strengthen the world's moral compass and make the world a better place, literally.
You want to know something, man? And we need more people like that, right? And again, like I was going back to, is some people are taught a certain way, right?
Yeah,
If you go ahead and show them that, let's say we'll have fun together, right? Less
yeah,
talking, more enjoying, right? Because
yes,
a lot of times, you might talk yourself right out the door. But if you just allow yourself to enjoy something, you could be around a million people that are enjoying the same thing. And without a thought of that person don't like me, or this person is this, or that person is this. And I feel like you creating that environment will
hmm,
allow a community, not just of regular individuals, but on the corporate market, like you're saying, is go ahead now and get companies itself. Say, you know what, let me go to Hilton, or let me go to, these people where it looks like they're not having fun at their job, they're not enjoying their job, but maybe
yeah.
it's because,
Show them how to live a better life with what they already have, the resources and the tools
yeah,
that they already have, to the point that when they come to work, they love their job. They're
they
telling
love it.
people, come book with us. They're telling people, you
Yeah,
should work here.
exactly, exactly. They become a spokesperson for the company they work for, even if they don't
Yeah.
own it. You know what I'm saying? But
It
they
creates
internally,
it, it creates amazing relationships, and it increases the bottom line profit of the person and the business because their productivity and their feelings are up, which means that's money for the business. People are
so
coming back.
now let's get to the gritty real fast, right? Because you
Okay.
just got off a great phone call, right?
Yeah.
And you want to know something? I like what you're doing to like level yourself up. It's awesome because you didn't say, let me go to that guy, that it's easy to get to. You said, let me
Yeah.
go to one of the biggest franchises there is when it comes to hotels. And let me see what I can do to, change something within that structure. And I think that's awesome, right? And they obviously saw the value of it, right? Because they see, wait a minute, this is not only is it helping us, but it's going to help children. And I want to be a part of that, right? And these are
Yeah.
things that people look at, right? So tell people about that story, right? Tell people
I
about,
mean,
the great things you're about to do. And it's not just starting
okay.
there, it's elevating from, this is just a stepping stone. And my goal is to get into all of these, corporate structures that are going to allow me to make a change.
Yeah. So with that one,
I
so this
put you
is
on
my
the
first
spot.
time that I'm saying this out loud. So you getting the tea. Look.
Uh,
So what I'm planning to do, I've been here in Houston for like a year or so, and I had a surgery last November, and visiting businesses as a disabled person was very different than visiting well on my own, looking like myself, being, I was kind of like a little bit damsel and distressed a little bit some days, but I wasn't asking for handouts. So it allowed me to see the different
which
businesses
since
that
I've
I've
known you, I've never seen that off of you. You never
been.
gave off the I'm weak type of
Yeah.
vibe. You're always I'm gonna work it out. I walk on one leg if I have to. That's it.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what I did still,
I already
but
know.
I needed a little help. I needed some help, or there were things that were just out of my control in terms from a customer perspective.
Yeah.
And I had this idea of, instead of writing a bad, nasty Google review, what if I wrote out a little letter, kind of like the Scarlet Pimpernel, because I used to be such a history reader, and that was like one of my eras that I got into. I'm like, I want to write them a handwritten letter to let them know how much I care and my experience about the experience I had at their establishment, and ways that a few things that I noticed that I may be able to do to fix it. Because I don't think a business is bad for making mistakes. I feel like if you have an opportunity to fix it, if you take that opportunity, that determines if people should really do business with you or not.
Yeah.
Not that if you're bad, because I don't get to determine that, right?
And they're huge
But
companies. So it's like one bad apple can't change their whole perspective on an actual
exactly.
huge company.
But making the right apple a good apple, like making a wrong right, can
Yeah,
attract so many more good apples, right?
100%.
On both sides, because most of my online community are corporate professionals that are looking for services like mine, that are forgetting to take time out for themselves. So if I'm broadcasting, or if they're sponsoring me, and I'm able to say, hey, this is a great place to stay. And ironically, when we first met, it didn't start off so great, right? But we cultivated this relationship, and here's where we are now. This is a company that cares, because at the end of the day, people don't care until they care about how you make them feel.
Yeah.
You're right. They care about how you make them feel. They don't care about what you said or what happened, but how you left them feeling at the end of the day really plays a part. And so I am pitching to hospitality and corporations, restaurants, businesses within my community, essentially, to allow me to go in, train their employees, show them how to fill their own cups with self-love, and achieve their goals, and be a better person within the business that they chose to work at, or maybe shift them around in the business if there's something
Yeah.
that's revealed in one of the assessments. But like I said, it's going to go back to giving to the children, like 20% of everything that I do with them. I'm looking to create a after school program. Give me a second. I teach the art of storytelling using photography and videography. That's what I changed to life mapping and legacy planning to. And a lot of the kiddos lost their after school programs, and I see what's important to them. And so I want to take what they've shown me is important to them, and the things that they said that we had this after school, I would stay after, and I want to create programs around it, or set up some sort of adventure club to take them on with field trips. So that they could actually see the city they live in. Like, some of these kids don't go to fast food restaurants because they say it's too expensive. Their family,
Yeah.
is in that position. And so I just want to really make a
What
difference.
challenges? What challenges do you think you're gonna run into with all of this?
Right now, a facility. Like, I thought that some of the schools would be really on board because they lost the program over funds, and I'm not asking for funding. So I'm hoping that someone actually sees this podcast, because I'm going to share it,
Yeah.
and say, well, we have a facility that you can use that can tie in into after school. and the kids can come there because, or the school to change their mind and allow me to pay a teacher because I want to pay the overage. But the biggest challenge right now is just simply a facility somewhere to do these activities, because I'm going to donate my service and I'll pay other business owners that are teaching children within the schools already. Like, hey, do you want to come make a few extra hours giving your craft to kids, or they can volunteer?
Mhm. Well, let me ask you this too. It's so challenges come, like anything else, right? So
Yeah.
businesses thrive honestly because these little challenges, right? Because some people hit a hurdle and they, oh man, it's over. I can't do this, right? Or you take that
Mm-hmm.
challenge and you turn it into a positive and say, this is really not a challenge because you just had to, figure something out to work it out, right? And once you
Yeah.
did that, you figured out, wait a minute, because I figured this out, I just figured something else out. And now it makes it easier for me because I
Yeah.
might have got an investor, or I might have found it a strategic way to get the government to give me this property. Or I might, there's so many different things that, because of these challenges, you're going to get even further. So acknowledging what a challenge could be and then figuring out how to overcome that challenge is the key, right? And have you, knowing that that's the challenge, have you even thought about what's the overcoming side of it? How am I going to overcome this part? Have you looked
Oh,
into
yeah.
government grants?
No, I haven't, because I really want to do this without the government, to be honest, because I really want it to be my program. So that was how the Adventure Club idea possibly came in. So when one idea doesn't work for me, I just look at it like a dead end. I live in a suburban inner city community where some streets are going to lead right through, and some street there's beautiful houses, but they're dead ends. So if I go in a route that's not working, I'm like, okay, well, that's a dead end. I'm going to go back out and see what else, you know? And so I had something pop up recently with wholesale buses, shuttle buses, or something like that. And so I said, well, if push comes to shove, I'll purchase a shuttle bus wholesale for a transportation company that already exists, invest in a company that's there. And then we'll just set up after school field trips and feed the kids. And so for what
Without a
I'm
place.
looking to charge, I'll just make it an adventure club and we'll just go to the zoo, to libraries. It's not about spending money, because the things that I do, I want to show parents these are things that are available to you in the city at discounted or free prices that you may not know about being new here. It's a
Yeah.
lot of first generation families.
Yeah, yeah. And Houston, there's some money in Houston.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can find somebody to fund this whole situation for you,
I
honestly,
believe
because
so.
yeah, and doing it the way you're doing it, because remember, that's another thing too, is like people want to see, they don't just want to throw money out there sometimes, right? I've noticed that in a lot of raises I've done trying to raise money for different projects, is that they want proof of concept, right? So proof of concept being, like what you just said, instead of me getting a location right away, I'll just do events, and we'll just go to a zoo, or we'll go here and we'll go here, and that'll be our starting point to raise the money to
To go
show.
to the library.
Yeah. Now you're showing people
Mm-hmm.
like, look, I need this location, but this is what I've been doing in the meantime until I find that money to follow my dream and what I'm doing. So now an investor says, wait a minute, all right, well, she has proof of concept. She's showing what she wants to do without a location. So imagine with a location, how many more heads or more, butts we can put in a seat, right? Because it really comes down to the fact
Yeah.
of the more people in the building, the more money you're able to make, dollars and cents, right? So again, you
Yeah.
pivoting and saying, all right, well, this is my challenge, but in the meantime, while I'm coming over this challenge, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm gonna do. This is what the way I'm gonna lead this
Oh,
until I get the funds.
it's becoming such a Mhm.
No, keep on.
It's becoming a bit of a beautiful monster, because, like I said, my background is in sales and marketing. And so I've mocked up concepts for car dealerships. That's another
Okay.
industry that I love, that I don't want to go back to sales, but I really
Let's
like the
talk about
automotive
something.
industry. And so I have some really amazing Say it again.
No, I said I used to sell cars too.
Oh, okay. Well, see, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanna throw some concepts out to some luxury car businesses like Genesis or Rolls Royce or somewhere like the cars that I like basically.
Yeah.
Um, and I want to do fundraisers that would generate not just car sales for them, but fundraisers for the event, just using their old clientele of who they have already serviced as a customer appreciation fundraiser.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a great idea. I think another thing you should do is
Can you
remember
hear me, Steve?
George. Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
Why are you? I think it's a lag. I do think it's a lag. But you
Okay.
remember that guy
You
George?
it yeah, there's you froze on my screen, but I can hear you,
Okay. So you know that guy George,
George. At your office?
the one from the other podcast I told you to watch?
Oh yeah, George with the
Yeah.
steps.
Yeah, exactly. You see, you
Yes.
asked me, I think
Yes.
you and George need to communicate because you can really use that with what you're doing with the children and teach children how to make money off of that, right? Because that's a free way to make money, for kids to make.
Yeah.
I told them when I was in there, I said, look, kids can make allowance off of this. Parents, instead of giving them money, they can say, all right, well, go out and play, right? Get your steps
Yeah.
in so you can make money off of it. I think that this might be a good thing to talk to them
Yeah.
about because
Yeah.
it's bringing children into
It'll,
the
it'll
effect.
get them off the games because a lot of the kids that I teach, they're so game and high intense electronic driven that a lot of them when I first started the project and I asked them, what do you like? What's your favorite? Like they're not used to people even asking like, what do you like? So
Yeah.
they're like, I don't know nothing, sleep, video games.
Yeah.
And that's the answer to everything if I let them. And so I had to remove that. And so I do think that that's a really great idea, number one. And this is a high stepper city. Like the parks here, we have a park called Memorial Park that's like a central park. That park is always packed with people running. Unfortunately, like I'm never one of them, but the way that people run around, I mean, I went to Galveston, they're running across the bridge like in groves of people.
Yeah.
And so I really do think that would do well
Yeah. Yeah. That's
with
something to
the children
communicate with.
and the people, and it
Yeah.
could fund the projects, the
Yeah.
field trips,
Yeah.
or
Exactly. Well,
little
you're right.
camping
Their
trips.
trips, yeah, because their steps are paying for the whole progress, right? And that's even another incentive for your investors
Yep.
that you're getting and saying, look, you know, not only are we're doing this, but we're creating way for the children, to support their dream and support what we're doing too by doing this. The parents don't even have to pay because they're working off of what the kids are doing with these steps, and it comes straight to us through cryptocurrency, and that allows us to generate some type of profit off of this to continue it going, right? I like I said, it's just a thought.
Mm-hmm.
I like to throw my thoughts
Better
out
to
there.
simply get what we need because it's no, I like that, but it's not. It's also getting what we need because I know with yours, for example, you can go purchase things. It's not always about the money.
Yeah,
Sometimes the money is not the best option if you can get what you actually need and that's worth more than you can get
exactly,
paid.
exactly. I
And
get
so
it.
I'm hoping to snowball a little bit of that effect because some people are sitting on property or some people have funds that they need to get rid of by a certain time of year or whatever it may be, or they may just need better marketing plans, and this would be an excellent marketing expense
Yep.
you know
Listen, I got 15 acres right now in Texas, in McAllen, Texas, so it's a little further from where you at, right? But if you made it down there, I'll give you a little section of.
Ooh, I heard about McAllen. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put up a little building and we do something together, right? I got a builder and everything. He'll build the whole thing out for us.
We'll grow a farm,
Yeah, all of that good stuff.
put a
It's like
farm back
it's
there because I
it's
I
enough
think
land.
horticulture is important for
There's
yeah,
there's enough land
absolutely.
there to do, so many different things on that thing. And I just don't have time to get to Texas, so it's just sitting there for now. But I'll figure it out eventually. But let
You
me
should
ask you
come
this though.
down here when it becomes winter and
Uh, I need to. My wife, she loves this winter stuff. I don't know. She likes the cold. So let me ask you this. for future entrepreneurs and things like that,
Wow.
what, huh? What you said?
Oh, I just said wow.
Oh, about her loving the cold, right?
Yeah.
She's crazy, but it's she loves it. We lived in Florida. She loves her season. So, for her, happy wife, happy life is the way I see it. I'm good. I'll make
Yeah.
money anywhere.
Yeah.
So, but for people entrepreneurs that or people that are inspiring to be entrepreneurs, like what can you tell them, like, to keep on fighting or something, right? To show
I
them that this is a journey. It's not a hobby, right?
yeah.
So go ahead.
I would say to dream ginormous. Don't just dream big. I think
No.
the first mistake that I ever made with dreaming was dreaming too small. I said I wanted to be retired by the time I was 35, financially free, could travel with the ability to not worry about money and things of that nature and go to maybe like 3 or 4 countries. And I like crazily exceeded that goal. And I exceeded it easily. So the first thing I want to say is to write it down, because those were the things that I wrote down. The things that I wrote down were the things that I exceeded. But I'm like, man, I should have dreamed bigger. And so I want to say to dream ginormous, because when you put a ginormous dream on paper and you map it out, that's what my class is about doing, actually. I would tell them to take my class, look, and buy the book. Look, create a 5-year
There you
plan.
go. Create that
Um,
5-year plan. Is
take my
everything.
take my class and create the 5-year plan through the BXB. But no, seriously, that's the truth, because I use my class, I use my boards as a moral compass, that when times get hard, I need to visually see what I'm doing this for. Because if you forget, like for me, it was my kids for the longest, but now my kids are all grown and gone almost. And so I had to have a bigger purpose. So now I was like, I got my kids for the world, but the world is not ready for them. So make yourself a goal that's so big and that's so crazy that even that you'll always have to have something to strive for, and then give yourself grace and celebrations throughout the way. Reward yourself. Don't think I have to be here to reward myself. Yesterday, I rewarded myself with a day at the beach.
From the
It could
small.
be simple.
Yeah, the
Go get a cocktail
smallest, the
on a
smallest
Wednesday.
achievement. Yeah.
Yeah, like celebrate your wins and then look back also on how far you've come. So I like to reflect at old pictures, because they are instant reminders of how far I came when I forget, because life happens and we all forget. So look at the future, glance at the past, but keep going. Keep going forward.
So how do you balance your entrepreneurship and your regular life? Like, because there's a balance, you got to balance it somewhere, right? Like,
Yeah.
me personally, I work, 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 and then I try to find that balance somewhere in there, right? Of, for
Yeah.
me, my family's there all the time, but even when I get home, sometimes I work, I like,
Yeah.
and I don't even call it work, but I just create,
You
is what I
living.
tell my wife. I'm
Yeah.
creating right now.
I had to restructure. I lost my balance for a while with that situation, but now that I've gotten and I'm getting my family structure back, I like day slot, like time slots, and so from this time to this time, I'll be doing this. Sometimes I have to go to coffee shops, or I like to pick new environments, because it's good to create new situations, and because
100%.
they create new opportunities. So I like to visit like mom and pop coffee shops in Houston, because they always got these really amazing vibes playing. I could treat myself to a little $7 coffee latte or something, and I'm in the midst of new people instantly. It's almost like travel for
Yeah.
me. And so my balance is doing things that I like keep doing things you like, and do things with intention. So I told my family on Friday nights, I want to, like, we're going to make dessert together or watch a movie. On Saturdays, I want game night. So I intentionally put things that are important to me in my day plan, so that I don't forget what I actually like, because work can take over and you'll find yourself being a slave to the dollar. And that's not why you really got in business.
Yeah.
So, like, consultation wise, you can't book, I don't book more than 2 a day. My calendar won't allow it. I have other things to do.
I get it. I get it. I wish I could do that sometimes. But then like I wish I can do that sometimes, but then I really don't wish I can do that sometimes. Like, cause I
Yeah.
love to be on.
Yeah.
I'm on, and it's funny because I come from sales, and
Yeah.
I've always told my sales rooms and told them, like, look, when you're in sales, there's never a turn off switch. So
Mm.
once you turn that switch on, just know that it's always going to be on. Even when you go to the store, you're going to be pitching people on
Yeah.
on something, right? You're gonna have a cereal box in your hand, and you're gonna start pitching them about this cereal box, and it's just because it's like your mental is
It's geared to
I'm
that.
on sell mode, right? And it's not because it's a lifestyle, right? Sales is a
Yeah.
lifestyle, and for me, it's I get caught that my switch is on, and sometimes I don't turn it off, even when I'm home. Right. The
Hmm.
other day I'm at home, and it's funny. My daughter, she knows me. I love to work. Right. I'm always on it. She goes, Daddy, you work when you're at work, and you work when you're at home. Right. And so I'm sitting there. I'm like, you know what? Let me just chill for a second. And she comes down. She comes into the living room, and she looks at me. She goes, what are you doing? And I said, what you mean? She goes, why are you not working? And I'm like, I'm trying to chill. And she's like, why? And I'm like, you know, you're right. Why? Right. So what I did, I picked up my computer and I started working. Right. And just because it's like, you're right. Why am I just chilling? Like sometimes it's cool to get that
So
break,
do
but
you so you don't have anything that you like to do that's not work related?
I love it. Well, it's for me, what I do is not work, right? So, like, I create books, I write books, I create
Hmm.
other books. Like over the weekend, I just created coloring books for kids, for entrepreneurs, right? And
Hmm.
that wasn't work for me. Like that was
Yeah,
cool.
that was
Like,
fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was cool because I'm like, I'm telling my daughter, Bella, look at this. What you think? Oh, I like that. You got to give me one of those, right? And I'm like, this is to me, this is what it's about. It's about
Yeah.
helping others, but also creating, right? Because my fun is creating, right?
So let me ask you this though. How many hats do you wear?
I wear a lot of them.
Yeah.
Right. But you want to know some I've learned along the way is that you delegate a lot of different things too, right? I wear a lot of hats, but then I delegate a few hats for those smaller things or for different things so that, I don't have to carry all the weight. A lot of my employees and a
Yes.
lot of my people carry the weight that allows me a little bit more time, right? But with that more time I have, I create new things so that I can
Yeah.
go ahead and now have another hat that can manage to put somebody else in place of on. Right. So we're setting up an e-commerce store right now
Hmm.
for a few of my different things that we do, books, clothes, stuff like that. I have somebody else that's helping with that situation. My books I deal with, because I love to do them. I love to create them myself,
Hmm.
and I publish them myself. Self-publish everything I do. I promote them all. When it comes to marketing, I find the little strategies to go ahead and try to market those things because I like to learn, right? And maybe
Yeah.
that's what I like, right? Maybe that's one of those
Yeah.
things like that my I love to do is learning.
Uh-huh.
Learning to me is everything.
That's
If you can
living.
learn
I feel like
one
learning is living.
yeah, like if you could learn one thing a day, like that's great, right? And I
Yeah.
tell my kids that every day, like, learn something today. Even if it's the smallest thing. Just add that one more thing of value to you, right? And that's like I said, that's my love. My thing that my balance from work and everything is like, I chill with my family while they're sitting right next to me, we'll talk, but then I also have my computer on the right hand side of me, just browsing. Doot, doot, doot. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I
But
like it.
I just like I said, it's just and they know me already. They already know that's what
Yeah.
I so it makes it a little bit better for me anyway.
Yeah. I have to have full blown me time some days. But
Yeah.
like entrepreneur, teacher, mom, and wife is like a lot for me.
Hmm.
And I used to be the queen of making other people chill. And so I think that for new entrepreneurs, or and I say the same thing to new parents,
Yeah.
because like it's my kids are grown, but I started over with my goddaughter who's 6. And so having essential time to yourself, even if it's to create, I think that that's something that I would tell new entrepreneurs to chisel their time in. Don't think that you got to be balls to the wall the entire time, because that chill time, that creative time makes that other time easier.
Yeah. That, and remember, balls to the wall, people take that as if it's, we gotta go hard, we gotta work hard, we gotta kill
All the time,
ourselves.
no sleep.
Like
And
it's,
it's like, no, you're going to screw yourself up and be
yeah,
drained
and
with people
it's
around you that love you.
100%. And like for me, it's more like my balls to the wall is not like I'm having fun, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. If you don't find fun in what you do, you're an employee,
Yeah.
right?
That's
You're
what
an
I like
employee.
about what I
Yeah.
do now, like with the experiences, because after COVID, I miss people. I didn't realize I miss people so much, but I'm used to going into businesses and interacting with anywhere from the owner to the customers. I interact with
100%.
everybody all the time. And so not having that interaction and seeing how far people got away from interacting with one another, it's like that adventure park that I sent you the photo of by accident.
Yeah.
I want to take people to go do stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like
that's fun too.
let
Yeah.
your hair down, like no kids, no works, no phones, no laptops. Let's
See,
just
I
go.
might do
It's
that.
like
I might do that
that's
with
what
you.
I'm saying. Like
Yeah, I might do that.
when I got to Dallas, my little brother and his friends were all like 6-figure owner, responsible 30-some-year-olds that know how to have adult fun.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I don't want to have as much fun as they have sometimes, but a little dose of it is good for everybody.
Yeah, it
Like to
is.
just go on a trip with no kids, and it's like all adults that's like you don't have to watch your
Yeah.
mouth. You can drink what you want, eat what you want,
Yeah.
and just be like big kids. I think that's nourishing for the soul for
Yeah, it is.
adults. We
Me and my
need that.
wife, we try to go at least on a real one-on-one trip every year, at least one trip together. That it's just us two, none of the kids. Like we
Yeah.
went to Cabo at the beginning of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean not Cabo. Yeah, Cabo was Cabo. Went to Cabo at the beginning of this year. We had tons of fun. We were
And
hanging
see,
out over there.
like now, I just told my husband, um, I want a staycation or a getaway once a month, because I used to take myself out of town every single month,
Yeah.
and
Well,
so
I
I
remember
kind
when
of
we first
spoiled
met, you were traveling like crazy.
super heavy, and so
Yeah.
and it's like, but it made me feel so alive, you know. Like that's what living is for me. It's meeting new people and going new places, and just helping everywhere I go. And so when I talked to our counselor about what he suggested, because I'm like, do I need a girls' day to myself once a month? He's like, no, don't do that. I'm like, because I could just dip off at a hotel and just do nothing. And so
Yeah.
he said, no, take me time as individuals within a day, but then once a month, go do a staycation. And so that's part of the hospitality tie-in that I want to offer to these employees with the corporate training, as well
Mhm.
as my community, to encourage people to go just stay somewhere nice with their person, whether they're, whatever their
Yeah.
titles are. Go and stay at a hotel once a month and pretend you're somewhere else. Like we got Margaritaville here. I can pretend I'm in Mexico really easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I like working with overseas customers, because then I'm going to travel for my work. So it's not like a vacation. It's like, babe, come on, let's go.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Honestly, like you said, I feel like you're right. People
Like
need it.
make it work for you and still do the work that you love to do,
Yeah.
but somewhere else. Because I don't call it vacation. And that's like, I just want to go work in Thailand today.
Or
Like,
even like your network. Think about it on a networking standpoint, right? I've seen
yes.
this thing that, there's a group of women. I forget the name of it exactly, but
Mhm.
what they do is they go stay at an island. They go stay somewhere. A ton of these women, all that I guess they're all part of, a community, right?
Yeah.
And whether not living in the same places, living in different countries and different states and everything else, but they're
Yeah.
part of community like what you're creating. And, once maybe every few months, they all go on vacation together, right?
Yeah.
Whoever can go. But what they're doing is for bonding within women. And that's
Yeah.
something that you can literally do unisex, where, man and wife, they can
I,
go and
I've
do
I've
something
tried
great like
both
that.
ways, and I prefer unisex. I don't want to be around a bunch of women
Yeah,
because it's like a bunch of estrogen advice. I think life is balanced with both, more
yeah.
balanced with both, and so, and especially if you like married and you're a couple, hey, leave those kids, or fine, bring them with you if we can set up babysitting arrangements or something,
Hmm.
right? But I like to get the male perspective, because what makes that group smarter is having perspectives that they don't all agree on. If
Yeah.
everybody agrees, how far are you really getting? You know
Yeah,
what I
that's true.
mean?
That's true.
And so to give the opposing um, suggestions about topics in respectful ways
Yeah,
from
of course.
people from all over the world, because like half my friends live in Africa and the other half are in Europe.
Yeah.
And so I've always had to travel to them to see things, but like to get that different perspective was everything, because it made me better
Yeah.
at the end of it.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. And it's this you can go ahead and create that more on your website so that you can create that thing and you can put me into it because I'll definitely be down.
Well,
Everybody just
I'm just
go.
gonna send you my link that I'm doing donations for, because once you donate over 25, it puts you in the online community, and so at the invites are for online community only. So
Okay.
instead of just blasting it out, because I don't want strangers on an island with me, I want to have an
Yeah.
opportunity. Like that's why I said there's levels to
Yeah.
it. I want to have the opportunity to work with the people in my community, them support my business, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So that by the time I'm like, okay, I'm gonna roll a trip out, I already know what you like, because I like to spoil people. Like my favorite thing in the world is, so for imagine this as a mystery date night, right? You and your wife come. I'm like, guys, we're gonna have a trip here. Here's the cost. I'm gonna send this out to you. What if you didn't have to plan shit? Like the car picks you up, your favorite drink is in there, her favorite drink is in there,
That's
the
how it
view
was when I
is,
went to Vegas.
yeah, like the view is how
Picked
you
me up
like
with a
it.
picked me
The
up at the
chef,
airport in a limo,
yes.
took me
But
to
it's like,
the
imagine you
hotel.
as a man sitting down at the table and your favorite meal is coming out. You didn't even have to order it.
Yeah.
Like I want people to feel like royalty, so that it's like I want to do this again. This shit was amazing. Like,
No, I think people will love it. And I like it, I know a guy in New York, right, that
mm-hmm,
he's a chef and he does
mm-hmm,
cooking at people's homes. Like you book someone with him, he'll come to your home, do a full
mm-hmm.
course meal for you at your house. Right?
I
That's a
used
nice
to do
experience.
that.
That's a
I
nice
wasn't the
experience.
chef. So I would take my chef out with me. My massage therapist would go with me. At the time, I was an esthetician. I did body wraps, and I was the owner. Nobody knew I was the owner. So I might have a couple. The chef will be in there preparing a 3-course meal while you're getting a massage and your wife is getting a facial and a body treatment in the living room. And you guys are getting like double service while the food's cooking. And then
Look at that.
the chef sets the table and we would leave. And people loved it.
Yeah,
Like,
they will, of course, because
and
at
I,
the end of the day, it's like they can lay back finally and get that breather they're looking for. I honestly, I think that your whole concept of what you're doing,
mm-hmm,
it's and especially partnering up with those bigger names, right?
yeah,
Like that makes it even easier to do because one, you're gonna get these people, you're gonna get these all of these things at a discount, right? So
yep,
now it's not like it's gonna be affordable to the average person that feels like they don't have time. They,
yeah.
I'm working, 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 but they never really have the time to go ahead and get some leisure for themselves, or they don't have the money to go ahead and
It's usually
enjoy that,
money.
right?
And
And
then it's like they get to stay at the luxury hotel. I'm
exactly,
still gonna book an Airbnb to host the dinner at, because I don't do trips over 12 people at a time. I don't want to see more than, that's too much over 12. And
yeah,
so they would stay at the property and actually enjoy the property as a guest versus someone that's serving guests, and then have the car service to bring them to where the dinner will be held. Or we, because I don't like, I, yeah, no, I don't want hotel food. I want what I want.
no, no,
And I
hotel food is no good. No,
yeah, and
it's
it's like, and some of
it's
the
too
hotels
generic.
are nice, but
Yeah,
it's like let me borrow your chef and tell them to come here
Yeah.
because this is how I want to do it to foster community, to foster family, and
Mhm.
for team building, and to have personal conversations where people feel comfortable to open up so that these coworkers understand why this one believes that and this one wears this, you know?
And I'm pretty sure, like, I seen something that you can go ahead and partner not just on the side of what you're doing with these hotels, but you
Mm-hmm.
can go online and partner with them in different ways so that now it's not like you're just offering one part of what they're doing at a discount. You're able to get them even more of a discount. There's a way you can partner with American Express. That with
Mm-hmm.
American Express, they also do something that if you use the American Express card for these certain services, you get even bigger discounts. Right.
Yes.
So there's, I know, I believe, what's that hotel? The Weston does
Yeah.
that with
That's part
American.
of Marriott collection.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Then they do something like that so that it makes it easier for you. All right, well, let me use my Amex for the whole shebang, and now I get
Yeah.
even more of a discount. What I would have paid maybe 1,200 for, I'm only paying 300 or something
Yeah.
like that crazy,
Yeah.
which is it's awesome to do because the more incentives you can give to people, the more benefits there are. Is right there.
And see,
So
that's
many great
another
things.
topic of money that I want to have at these conversations because a lot of people that are working these point of entry like jobs, they don't necessarily understand credit and how it works and how things like that can work for them as well. You don't have to have the actual money to become wealthy. You can understand credit and entire and what your own wealth from just simply
Yep.
understanding your credit and making your money work for you. And
100.
so to be able to open the door of those conversations to people that didn't think that conversation was for them makes people light up.
100%. Well, there's a million things that are out there right now that the average person don't think that they can get because they think they need this or they need that in order to achieve these different things, right? And I remember when I first got into the lending part of things, I thought I needed a few different things that I really didn't need. And it kind of gave me the key of, you know what? If I thought this, there's probably a million other people that think the same way. So I might as well start giving this jewel out and letting people know, like, look, these people lying, right?
Yeah.
They're faking it and saying you need this in order to succeed in life. And when it comes down to it, I feel like everything I do now is simplify and then pass it along, right?
Yeah.
Because everything is so difficult in people's eyes, and it's really because they don't, put put one and two together, right? I
That
remember,
or they haven't met anybody that's done it. Like
well,
meeting
that I guess
somebody
that
that's
too.
done it makes a difference in the ability to because you have more people that haven't thought about
Yeah,
doing it telling you can't do it,
yeah.
and then you're fighting your own self-conscious, and
I
so
remember
just
Fred,
saying
right?
I did it
Yeah.
changes it, you
I
know.
remember Fred, right? I told you this. I told him, I said, man,
Mhm.
what I bought was a lesson, right? And that lesson was, what I got today. But it really was something that it allowed me to open up a door that I never knew I had access to at one point. And
Yeah.
what he taught, right? What I heard, what I learned from that situation was, you know, this is easy and anybody can do this, right?
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
I sell my small businesses, I sell all of that stuff now to allow people to do the same thing that I'm doing, and showing them how easy it is by giving them that turnkey effect. Like you and I both
Yeah.
went through, right? And
Yeah. I
we
mean,
took it and
I'm
ran with
happy
it
I
the way
met you
we
out of
did.
that. That made it worth it.
Yeah, right, exactly, right. So, but it's you got something out of it, I got something out of it. Like each of us got something different out of it in our own way, right? But
Right.
it was a cause and effect. We did this, and this was the effect out of it of when you met me, or I found out a different way, a new money stream for myself where I can leverage and turn it into something even more greater than what he had, right?
Yeah.
And it really, like I said, I'm grateful, and I'm always grateful for anything I ever do, and even the things that I have to go through in order to get to these different things, whether they bad, good, or the other. I'm grateful,
Yeah.
right? Just because
Yeah.
it's like, if I didn't go through this, I wouldn't be here
You
right
wouldn't
now,
be
right?
here.
I wouldn't have got to
Yeah.
this point because of these different situations. So trust me, like it's, I feel like everything we can teach people, everything you can teach people, it's something that people need, right? Because
I
they
think that's
need
the
help.
freeing thing for me. Like
Yeah.
my audio room on LinkedIn. Oh, I haven't mentioned that, but my
Yeah.
LinkedIn is connected to my website. That's my social media platform that I generally feel the most comfortable on right now.
Hmm.
But my LinkedIn audio room is called Life Stories and Life Lessons, and
Okay.
I've got so many people privately and publicly, pour out to me behind that room. And the whole thing about it was, it's like, I just want people to learn from my life story. I want to give them the lesson, because
You also got
otherwise,
a club. You're on Clubhouse too, right? You said you have
so
a room in
I
Clubhouse.
set up Clubhouse and I'm still learning how to use
Okay.
it.
All right.
But my last audio room, I feel like I may have successfully recorded it on Clubhouse.
Okay.
Maybe, maybe not, but I had it going the entire time.
All right.
And I know that Clubhouse is designed for that, but I'm going to try to start transitioning people over to Clubhouse, because I like the amount of interactions one
Yeah.
can have.
It's pretty cool.
But
Yeah.
LinkedIn is still cool for professionals, because like now, when I pitch myself, you can go onto my LinkedIn profile and see all that I've done, and you have so many execs that are on LinkedIn.
That's
And
true
so,
too.
if you're interested in working with corporate, the best way for them to see that pieces of you would be to put it where they are. And so,
Yeah,
I believe
exactly.
in like knowing the clientele you're going for. And so, with me transitioning to corporate, that's what that everybody's like, the money's on LinkedIn. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to LinkedIn when they
That's
said
where
the
the money
money's on.
is, but
Yeah,
the
when they say the
new
money's
the
on the
new
golf
generation.
course, I
Yeah,
learned doing golf. I learned golf.
yeah. But that new generation of, entrepreneurs starting or trying to figure out entrepreneurship or trying to just, get into the wave of
YouTube.
things, right? They're on Clubhouse, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
Clubhouse and
these are
YouTube.
people, they're trying to learn how to do real estate. They're trying to learn how to get loans, how to get credit cards for their businesses, how to do,
Yeah.
steps that they need for their businesses, or even just to hear somebody speak about it, and it makes it more believable for them that, all right, well, now that you explained it that way, I understand how to do it. Right.
And
Because
see
a
that,
lot of
and
times people,
uh-huh.
they're not good at instructions. You give them a piece of paper here. These are 3 steps on how to do this. They're going to
And
look
they
at
like,
it and
but
be like,
show me.
what is this? Right. But if you
Yeah.
say it or show them, now it makes life so easy for them. They're like, wait a minute, I got that. Like I've learned so many different things that way myself, that I'll watch
Yeah.
something on YouTube and I'll play it. I'll watch what it said. Oh, all right.
Uh-huh.
Pause. All right, play again.
That's me. That's me. I take notes and everything.
Pause. Right. And and I figure it out all that way. Right. And sometimes
Yeah.
people need that. And I feel like Clubhouse, it gives that, interaction that you can
I
tell
like the
the
controls
person.
and that they can react, because the
Yeah.
thing is, if people are not reacting on LinkedIn, so like on Clubhouse, it gives the option to text or chat.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do
Raise your
that,
hand.
yeah. And so, and you can have different moderators and things. And so it's like a podcast on steroids.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand how big it was. So you saying, explaining it helped somebody understand it, actually helped me understand why I should be more active on Clubhouse.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because I had not considered that before you made that comment.
Yeah. It definitely is definitely a nice spot to be at. And like I said, you should definitely do a lot
I
of your
think I might link
consulting
up my
stuff.
Clubhouse to this YouTube one. What's
Yeah,
this note?
definitely. What I'll do is they'll be able to find, there's gonna be a QR code that they can go to your Clubhouse. We'll leave something there, invitation for them so they can go on there too. Because at
Yeah,
the end of the day, each one teach one, right? And
yeah,
if you can teach them something, one, they're gonna go ahead and understand that you know what you're talking about. Two, build your community. Three, it's gonna allow them to go ahead and maybe be a part of those events you're trying to do. That, these people go to these different away to a hotel and you
yeah,
treat them the way they want to be treated. And then what does that do? It allows them to refer more people to you. That is going to allow more growth and growth and growth, right? Because
yeah,
people love good service. People love to feel good, right? And if
yeah.
you can bring them to a place that they're going to feel good and enjoy what they're doing, you're going to be the talk of the town, girl.
And that's all I want to do. I want to make money and make people feel good.
Yeah, yeah,
and the way that like I said, the way I do the fundraisers, even it's about making people feel good, not just asking for something. I don't want something for nothing. I want to say you gave to a good cause and you felt good in return. I want you to feel that way when you give,
exactly.
like
Yeah.
everybody should walk away with a happy ending.
Yeah. Well, look, I want to go ahead and, just tell you like this, like I am impressed on everything you do. Since I've met you, you showed me that you are a different type of woman that, you want what you want and you're going to take it. You're not going to wait for somebody to give it to you. You're going to take it. And taking the steps that you're doing with everything, that just shows is like, I wasn't wrong of my thoughts, but also even when you felt like you were going through a bad situation, you said, well, I'm not going to allow this to defeat me. I'm not going to allow this to do nothing. I'm going to show that I run this show. Right. And trust me, like I love it. Like, and through these whole things, one of the most important things you keep saying is helping people. Right.
Yeah,
And entrepreneurship is, about one, succeeding at what you want to do, understanding what you want to do, and be, strong on your goals. Right. But at the
yeah.
same time, it's helping people, right? Because you can't get
I
to where
just
you
I
want to
want to
get without
be
helping.
I want to be, and I want to encourage people to be the change they want to see in the world, because we can all talk about what we don't like. And
Yeah.
so it's like, I can't change the world. I can't fix the world. I can't change every person. But if I could create a world within my realm, right, within myself, the people that I choose to engage with that want to see the world and be a contributor to the world and a creator, then it's like I actually can change the world. I
Yeah.
can create my own, and I want everybody else to know that they can too. That's essentially what I'm teaching. Like the way you allow your mind and your energy to flow, that's the world that you've created. The world you're living in, you kind of created. Not saying you got everything you deserve or like that. Because I've been through sensitive situations, but I've learned from each one. And so sometimes the world we create allows us to go through things to learn.
Yeah. All right. Well, because you're doing all these great things, right? I know your journey never stops. There's always going to be more, there's always going to be more, there's always going to be more, right?
Yeah.
What's in store? Like in the new ideas that you may have in the cut, or what's in store for the future of your entrepreneur journey?
So the big thing I would say is launching Coach K
Okay.
as a brand, and me being the business and the experience is new for me. But then to show people that are within the community how I plan to franchise me off. Uh, this
Yeah.
is gonna sound
Yeah.
so wild, but like it's my own way of getting reparations, because I don't feel like I want to wait for a government or anybody to come save or take care of me. That's why I'm doing the fundraising for the kids the way that I want to, because if I make the money and it's mine, then I could spend it how I want.
Yeah.
So I am looking to take Coach K and double franchise it off. One side as the ultimate butterfly effect for people, the other side as co-red management for businesses. And I want to spread this all over the world, spread these
Awesome.
ideas, like replicate. So once it's
Partnerships are everything, because
yeah,
you're a
once
one
that's
man person, but imagine
exactly
if you had an army behind you pushing the same message.
right, because once I'm out of the consultant teaching position as much as I'm just doing more speaker commercial development, I plan to get land, create the facilities, housing, school, communities that I want and that I want to see. But I probably, once I do something here in Houston, I'm looking to replicate it in another country where it's more affordable to replicate, and that I'll own it forever without taxes. Once it's built, it's built. Um, and so that's how I'm looking to execute that big Walt Disney idea of it. Like
I believe it.
I
I
bought
honestly, I'm a believer in you, so I know
yeah,
that
like
you'll get it done.
I bought a Disney mapping book while I was stuck in bed, and so I'm sitting here looking at how Walt did it, and I'm like, I could do this. I see what he did. They're showing me.
And just think about that mindset, though, right?
Yeah,
Think about that mindset. It's like, can do this. We're talking about Walt Disney.
Yeah,
I
he
can
drew
do
out
this. Like,
everything
this is
first.
not that serious right now. I can literally do this. He just, or the only difference between him and I right now is the fact that he started. I just
He
need to go
started
ahead and
with the
take my steps.
sketch. He
Yeah.
started with the sketch, literally. They
Look at that.
mapped it out just like the classes. They mapped it out. This book, it opens up like a two-fold book, and it's a whole picture book of sketches of what they wanted. The only difference is I don't want amusement parks. I want living quarters, facilities, community gardens, and things that people need to be able to live a long, sustainable life. So instead of an amusement park, I want a community.
Yeah, and Texas is that place. One of the things that, what I love about Texas is that there's tons of land for sale.
Yeah.
Tons of it. And there's room to do everything. And if I'm not, if I'm, I believe so, and I've read this somewhere, Disney they're doing a Disneyland in Texas.
Frisco, right where
Yeah.
I just about an hour from where I just moved from. Yes.
Exactly. So what is that? Like, that's a calling right there. That's letting you know, like, Disney coming right here next to my
Oh,
door.
Texas. Texas is, I don't want to sell Texas too much because there's already too many people here.
You think
But
so? I
oh
feel
my
like
God,
there's so much room
I
out
just
there
got
to
out of
grow.
traffic. So in Houston and
Well,
in Dallas,
Houston,
in the big
Houston, yeah,
cities,
yeah, yeah.
there's so many people. So I'm looking to create this project away from a city. Honestly, I
Okay,
really want land, kind of how you have in McAllen, but not in McAllen.
yeah,
Somewhere closer to the city, maybe 45 to an
yeah.
hour
That's
outside
why mine is
of.
about 45 minutes from McAllen. So you
Okay,
have McAllen, like, where now it's congested completely. That
right.
mine is about 45 minutes away from there,
And
which
see, and I want to build out
is
so I
growing.
see
Yeah.
farmland because I want to, like, you need to be able to eat, you need to be able to have electricity. There's certain things you need, and it's so expensive to do it in the city. Once it's done here, I'm looking to do it more like in Africa, Southeast Asia, and different countries where the cost of living is still lower than Texas.
Yeah.
And so that's an easier replication, and it allows me to say I help people. My whole thing is I grow people and businesses internationally. I have to be able to not leave places that I love to travel behind. I would love to have my own place
Yeah.
and everywhere that I love to travel. Like Dubai is like my favorite place.
Yeah.
That's my happy place.
That's awesome. I've yet to went to Dubai. I want to go.
See, that's what I'm gonna drag you and your wife. We're gonna.
For real.
I'm telling you, that's my playground. I've been like twice and once to Abu Dhabi. And when I go to Dubai, I don't even have a sense of time as an adult. I
Yeah.
am like, the mall is open to 2 or 1 o'clock in the morning.
I hear
Beautiful
nothing but great things.
shows. Like the service is impeccable. You're going to Dubai. That's it.
Yeah.
Even if I have to plan it out on your anniversary for you and
Ah.
take credit for it, I don't care. You
Yeah,
go.
I'm telling you, that's definitely like that'd be a nice trip, like as
Like,
a group thing, and everybody ends up
yes.
going there, other entrepreneurs. Because think about it, like, Dubai is
Going
good
to the
money.
gold souk, and
Yeah,
then it's not as expensive as people think.
it's
I don't
not.
know what to tell
I've
you.
looked it up. Yeah,
Yes, it's
it's a
so
long trip.
it is. But see, this is what I did when I went. Well, okay, so both times I went, I was leaving Africa, and I was like, "Well, Dubai's right there. I'm just gonna buy this ticket and then I'll go home."
Yeah,
But
exactly.
if I was going to Dubai from home, I would spend a couple days in Europe. I would go like see a couple friends in Europe, hang out in Europe a few days, and then fly from Europe to Dubai.
Got
I
it.
wouldn't do that. I did that 16-hour flight once, and it's no. Just stop in Europe, hang out, eat,
Listen,
enjoy
Jersey
yourself.
to Hawaii is crazy.
How far?
From Jersey to Hawaii is a long trip. All
How
right.
many hours?
At least 12 or something like that.
Oh my God, that's
Right.
insane.
And so what I did, me and my family, we went we went to California to
Yeah.
Jersey, right? We stood in California for a week. Then that week we stood over there, we turned around and said, all right, we're going to Hawaii. We were surprised to my kids. Then we came back, instead of going straight back to Jersey from Hawaii, we
Mhm.
went from Hawaii, we went to back to Cali. and I hung out in
Yeah.
Cali for another day or two, and then I came home because that was a
Yeah.
long trip to be going, straight through like that. No, I couldn't
Yeah.
do it. I couldn't do it
Yeah.
because I don't sleep
No,
on the plane.
I
Right?
made the
I'm up.
mistake once, and from Texas to Abu Dhabi is 16 hours, and I was on Etihad, which is probably the nicest plane I've ever been on, but it just felt like the never-ending ride, the never-ending. I'm like, "Yeah, are we there yet?" I felt like a kid,
Yeah,
and so I like going to. I don't. Yeah, I like going to Europe because of my friends.
yeah.
It's not a cheaper place to go, but the way that I travel, there's ways to travel with points and, rewards or whatever, that you can go to Europe, hop on a train, jump countries so easy. And then before you know it, it's time to go. You finish your trip and it's like 6 hours and 6 hours. It's not so bad.
I want to go to Greece.
See, so let me tell you this: when you go to Greece, you can go down to Mykonos, and there is a ferry, less than $100. Go and visit southern Turkey, like it's called it's called Izmir. They
Okay,
have thermal hotels where the water is 75 degrees all year round, and it's clear blue water that looks like Greece, and you can just take a ferry over there for a day.
that's awesome. I'm
I
gonna
know
have
the
to
most
have you
random
take.
stuff.
I'm gonna have you go in and look. Set me up over here and set me up over there. Listen, Kimberly, it's awesome to have you on my show, right? And what I want to do is, I tell you this: once you go ahead and got a few of those things going, especially with that big project you're working on now,
Yeah.
I want to have you back on, right?
Okay.
And just so you can tell people, your progress, and you know, maybe by that time we have that website going where people can go ahead and join that community so that,
They can
maybe.
join now.
No, I know on
The
that website, but I'm
Okay.
talking about like if you went ahead and, for the trips and stuff like that, right? Is that you
Right.
can do that
So,
too? That's
yeah,
already set
so
up?
they have to join the current online community. So
Okay.
when you join, so let me go ahead and break down the steps so that
So
everybody
one, I'm
understands.
gonna have the QR code, or it's gonna be there for your link for the coaching one that they
Right.
can go to, right? And they can do it on there on the community?
Right, because I don't do
Okay.
one-on-one sessions, is what I was trying to tell you.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
only I only offer right now the online community, in which I'll put affirmations and different inspirations in there, but then I'll drop community coffee chats, virtual coffee chats, and classes. Those that book the classes, I send out the group invites individually, because what happens is on the class, when you take my class, it's $100. It's not a big secret, and it's
yeah.
not super. It gives you a visual mapping and a legacy plan with your partner, right? But it tells me all the stuff you like.
Yeah.
So as I book the trips for you moving forward, I already know what you like. You've already told me, and I have visuals of it. So it's my new way of learning quickly, learning new people, and learning the details that are
Yeah.
important to them very quickly. So that on my site, I can do a 15-minute consult. There's a class to sign up for, and then it's the online community. But
Yeah,
the
exactly.
invites only go to community members, and so that's how I'm able to make everything invite. There are different
Nice.
invites that go out to certain people, and
Yeah.
that won't go to everybody, because based off what you told me you like and you don't like, you don't need to be invited to
Yeah,
everything.
exactly. Because now you're not gonna bring this guy and our couple with that couple and this couple if they
Well,
all like
like
different
an
things.
easy one is like people that don't drink don't necessarily want to go to an alcohol tasting. I like putting together curated events. So I will invite the people that don't drink to a custom coffee tasting,
Yeah.
Yemenese coffee or something.
So
Because
you
I'm
see,
just,
my problem is that my wife likes to drink.
mm-hmm.
I'm not a drinker, right? I'll
But if
sip
you
on
want to,
some
but
if I
if you
had
say
to.
I'll come as her designated driver,
Yeah,
then that
there you
would make
go. You,
sense.
you guys can go hang out.
Yeah, but my husband will be around,
Yeah,
and so it's like I do things for people that make sense based off what they say. And
yeah,
so it's like if someone says they like cold weather, they don't like hot, I want to invite them to a trip to South Africa. I'll wait till I go visit my friend in Ireland and say, hey,
yeah.
are you guys interested? My friend is the councilwoman of Ireland, and we can get a behind the scene added to our trip. Do you want to go?
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's because you're basically creating something, off of the liking of what they, and not trying to put them together with other people that won't mix, right?
Yeah,
Because
not just to do stuff. I
yeah,
don't want to just have fun to have fun. I
yeah,
like having fun, but it's intentional because
yeah, yeah.
mixing the wrong combination could create the opposite of fun. And I
But
like putting people in their own rooms so it still feels like a personal
yeah.
vacation, but we go do things together.
But that, and I feel like, if you're getting entrepreneurs to do this together, it's bringing the like-minded individual together, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
they love to do certain things, they love to make money, they love to do all these things, but they like what they like. And it's true, because I've been around guys that don't drink, when I used to drink
Mm-hmm.
a little bit, right? And they won't drink, so it's not like they're having as much fun as what we're having, because
Like
we're
they
all
might
drinking.
want to do a brisket or taco tasting
You know what I'm
more.
saying? Like, they might want to do something else, and I'd be like, you know what? That's not my thing. But if you have like-minded individuals, like, you know what? I don't really drink either. Yeah, you know what? Let's go talk over
Yeah.
here and let's go chill.
But
Let's go have.
but it's like, but if I know both of you really like tacos and it's game night, you both are in Jersey and I'm like, I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm gonna come up there and set up a game day taco bar. You both like tacos.
Yeah,
So it's like
we both like tacos, and we like-minded, so we like to talk about the same things.
exactly. And so I like when I say curating custom events, it's more like that. Like it may be a venture, it may be food, it may be beachy, it may be whatever I feel like. And
Yeah,
that's the beauty of it. I do
the
everything as a
algorithm
mystery.
of people.
Yes. And it's like, and I present it as a mystery, it decreases my anxiety. So you're not saying where we going. It's like, no, I said dress like this on this date, this time,
Show
you
up.
know? Exactly.
That's
Like
dope.
I'll show them how to do this. So
Yeah, right. That's awesome. That's awesome. Because it's true. It's like, don't worry about it. When
I
you
got
when you
it.
show up, you're gonna love what's happening, because this is literally your
It's for
dream,
you.
or this is your everything you like, right?
Yeah. And it's like
That's
if you're
cool.
coming as a couple, your dinner bundle, whatever, right? Your 3 course meal, it's not going to include alcohol, but hers is because
Yeah,
she likes it.
exactly.
Yours
Yeah,
might have a custom fruit juice from a juicer because
yeah,
that's what you might like more. And so when I say the details, I get excited about the details.
yeah, yeah. It's awesome. It's awesome. I like it. Like you said, it's definitely it's something that people will attract to this. And it's only because it's not something, it's not like a regular networking thing, right?
Yeah.
It's more catered to you as a person, and still creating a networking kind of
It's showing
event.
you how to do the lifestyle while telling you what the lifestyle is.
Yeah,
It's a straight roll out the
I
carpet,
like it.
show you class.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, look, Kimberly, again, thank you so much, right?
Mhm.
You're awesome. Please, last few words, tell these people, tell everybody, my audience, how, anything that you want, just in closing of, what do you think? Some of the quick advice for them.
So I do want to tell them to follow me on
Of course.
Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and LinkedIn. And I want to say to, like I said, dream big. Don't just dream big, dream ginormous, and use that dream as a moral compass
Well,
to not give up. Like think about find someone that's emulate like as close as possible to the dream you want, and see what their story was, so that you can understand that trials and tribulations will come, but they're part of the lesson, and that you should like never give up. Give yourself the love that you may be expecting from other people, because remember that the dream is in your head, they don't see it. And so the love that you're looking for people to give you, give it to yourself. And so that's why I said self-love and self-time is a big part of balance at the end of this, especially if you're a solopreneur, a solo entrepreneur. Create that life of the things you love while you're doing what you love, so you don't burn out.
got it. Awesome. Well, also, everybody, you're going to be able to see all of her social medias on her website. You're going to see the QR code below. Go ahead and scan it. You'll get to her website. You'll be able to, get a chance to talk with her. If you go ahead and schedule a meeting with her, whatnot, she's always free to talk to people. She will, she's helping, right? So anybody that's willing to help, please allow yourself the ability to say, yes, I need it. Pride is not going to take anybody nowhere when it comes to business or in life, right? So let's come together as a community, as we already do, and show some love to Kimberly. Go to her business, ask her for some help, she'll give you some advice on how to grow your business, or just have an easier life, right? And a happier life, I should say. But
Soft
besides
life.
that, my team, my community, my guest is always they're always shooting out nothing but jewels. So make sure you write these things down, make sure you absorb them, because everybody I bring on here is for a purpose of allowing their entrepreneurship, to their stories, to go ahead and bleed out to the world, so that people could learn from them, or want to be inspired by them in some way to start your own journey, right? But till next time, please like, subscribe this video, share this video to other people, so that other people can hear these stories. But until next time, thank you for everything. We love you guys. Have a great night and a great day, and watch every video we got, because it's all jewels. All right.
Yes.